throwback nigga. I pull up with the Dutchess. I tell my mama what's so good. Trying to be the only one. Trying to be the only son. You want to hold a nigga gun and shit.
Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She's wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? She's wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? Shut up, you trees, she stay with the streets. I heard they lead, I wanna know. I'm smoking the woods, she don't want no woods, I'm rocking the mist. She told me how it feels, she know what it is. I come in the vet, I come for respect. I come for your neck, you know what it is. I'm smoking the weed, that's sour with D. She on her knees, she just on the police. She know what it is, she from the hood. Bad was, I'm all in the car, popping a bra. She smoking the weed and drinking Douce. Shawty wanna pull up, shawty wanna pull up. Saying that she not a bimbo when she ride on 4 Giottos and she know she dropped the bottle. Oh, she tryna pull up. Oh, she tryna pull up. Oh, she tryna pull up. Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She's wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? Trees wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one?
Ride around my side of town, girl, you know it's going down. You crazy. You just like to drive the boat, get dope, and stay wavy. You're a fucking trees, you're a fucking trees. You are for the street. Killer shot, she busted up like Selena. Ass bitch, she looking like she Trina. She ain't no contender, she only a beginner. Dirty nigga from Granada, bitch don't get nada. Bitch be rockin' Prada, only eat McDonald's. You crazy, you crazy, you crazy. You a Big Mac thing, you fucking lazy. You don't faze me, you fucking crazy. You ain't the only one, you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one, you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one, you ain't the only one.
Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She's wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? She's wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one?
Welcome to the check-in report. I'm not the homie, I'm the one and only macaroni. I'm in the building tonight, y'all. I'm in the building tonight. Listen, I know it's been a while. I haven't done a show in a while. Listen, I plan on going on a streak. This is day one. This is day one of the streak, right? I'm going to try to do a 30-day streak. This is day one. So rock out with me. We're going to try to get back into the groove of things. I know that I haven't been dropping, frequent episodes. That stops today. Today we're going to be trying. We're going to go on a 30-day streak. We're going to try, right? So this is day one. But today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to get into it tonight. Good to be here. Today's topic, Nicki Minaj, the Barb, speaks at the UN on behalf of Christians being persecuted in Nigeria. Yes, it happened. And I'm just here to ask the question, is Nicki Minaj's intentions, are they pure? Is this really a woman who is a believer in the faith, who is really concerned, perturbed about what's happening on the continent of Africa, and the persecution of Christians? Or is there something that she's trying? Is there a bag at play? Is there a bag at play? Now, I don't know Nicki Minaj to be into politics. I don't know her to be into what's happening on the world news in terms of what's happening in terms of the persecution of Christians. This is not Nicki Minaj is not a Christian artist. Right? It would be a lot different if we saw Kurt Franklin and he was, at the UN speaking on behalf of Christians being persecuted, or we saw Yolanda Adams, Shirley Caesar, a gospel artist, speaking on behalf. This is a secular music woman. Right? This is a secular music act who raps about shaking her ass, twerking it here, slurping up this hot dog, doing this, having promiscuous, reckless sex, doing this, doing that, pills and potions. This is the embodiment of what Nicki Minaj. She's not a gospel artist. I don't know her to be a believer. And I'm not saying that she doesn't believe in a higher power. I'm not saying that she doesn't believe in a God and a Christian God. And, I'm not saying that. But, going off of her music, she doesn't represent that in her music, particularly. Right? So, seeing her at the UN speaking on behalf of Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, I don't really understand. I'm thinking there's something more at play. Is she trying to pivot? Is she trying to be an ambassador for, I believe she's what, Trinidadian? Maybe not Trinidadian. I think she's I forgot where she's from. I mean, we may have to look that up, but is she trying to become an ambassador? Maybe. Is she trying to make a political move? Is there a bag at play? And I'm just asking this. Is her intentions pure, or is there a bag at play? And we're going to play what Amanda Seale had to say. Amanda Seale. Salute to Amanda Seale. She had her commentary. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that later. We're going to play Nicki Minaj's speech at the UN. And I want you guys to give me your opinion. Is there a bag at play? Is she, positioning for something? Is she pivoting to something? I don't know. But I'm a little kind of I don't understand the move really. And like I said, respect to the people, condolences to the people that are in Nigeria that are being persecuted. But let's get into Nicki Minaj's commentary in terms of what she said at the UN. Let's get into her commentary right now.
Hello, everyone. I must say, I am very nervous. So please.
What is she nervous about? And Nicki Minaj, let's be real. You get on Twitter, you talk reckless about black women, you talk reckless about FBA, respectfully. Nicki Minaj is the tether. You talk reckless about all of these different rappers. You got pink wigs on Jay-Z's head. You talk reckless and boisterous all the time. Now you want to be, Miss Petite. Now you want to be Miss Little Bo Peep. And talk like you got some sense. Talk like you got some coof. When you get around some white people, now you want to talk like you got some coof, huh?
You don't find that suspicious?
Now you got your work voice on. When you're rapping to these young girls in the streets, when you're rapping to these girls in Queens, you're done. You're done. I may have to put that on the screen. Hold on. You're done. When you're rapping to these girls in the streets, you're rapping like you ain't got no sense. You're rapping like a ratchet, a ratchet hood rat. done put that on there. You done. You done. Well, Will I Am, you done. You done. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Is this it right here? Here you go. You know, listen, you know, when you're talking, when you're on Twitter, this is how you're acting on Twitter. On Twitter, this is how you act on Twitter. Because, you know, I'm looking at you in this UN speech. You know, you got your nice dress on. You're talking like you got some sense. But when you're on your records and when you're talking to these black girls in the hoods, this is how you sound.
The London, the Sunday, yep, the Sunday came up, but we still in the dungeon. The London.
This is how you talking to the black girls in the streets, in the hoods. You're done. You're done. All this twerking with your head movement, talking like a CPO, 3PO. You know, all the bucking of the eyes and all this. You're doing all this coning and buffooning. But when you get in front of some white folk, that's when you want to speak all well-spoken and, oh, I'm nervous and all this. It's very interesting to me. That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting. You know, I don't want to get copyright infringement, you know, playing this. But yeah, you know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting that you talk like that. But, you know, when you talk in front of these black girls, you know, you talk like when you talk in front of these black girls, you talk all recklessly and ratchet. When you get in front of some white people, that's when you want to talk like you got some sense. Okay, I just want to put that on the table, put that on the docket, put that on the table, put that on the docket. Let's get back into it.
Please. Well, thank you, Ambassador Waltz, for this invitation. It is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank President Trump for prioritizing this issue and for his leadership on the global stage in calling for urgent action to defend Christians in Nigeria.
Is Nicki Minaj a MAGA supporter? We need to know now. Nicki Minaj, are you a MAGA supporter? Are you a Donald Trump supporter? We need to know. I think your fans need to know. Your fans need to know if you are a Donald Trump supporter, because they've supported you throughout the years. A lot of people have their issues with Donald Trump. They feel a particular way about the man. They feel a particular way. They don't necessarily like what he represents, like the things he's done. You know? A lot of people not happy. We need to know, as a fan base, Nicki Minaj, are you a Donald Trump supporter? Because, you know, I would say that you possibly are. If you're working with the administration, if you're working on behalf of him, you're working with them, I would say that possibly you are a Donald Trump supporter. I would say. Let's continue, though.
Combat extremism and to bring a stop to violence against those who simply want to exercise their natural right to freedom of religion or belief. I stand here as a proud New Yorker with a deep sense of gratitude that we live in a country where we can freely and safely worship God regardless of one's creed, background, or politics. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion, like I recently stated on social media. And we don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. We're way beyond thinking or expecting or assuming for, you know, the person sitting next to you to have the exact same beliefs. We're beyond that. That's ridiculous. But that shouldn't make one person feel less safe than anyone in any room. Music has taken me around the globe. I have seen how people, no matter their language, culture, or religion, come alive when they hear a song that touches their soul. Religious freedom means we all can sing our faith regardless of who we are, where we live, and what we believe. But today, faith is under attack in way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only a growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent action. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see. When one's church, mosque, or place of worship is destroyed, everyone's heart should break just a little bit. And the foundation of the United Nations, with its core mandate to ensure peace and security, should shake. I am joined here today by peace builders, by faith leaders, by those who saw violence, saw rising intolerance, saw the threats clearly before us, and chose not to look the other way. I am inspired by their work to build interfaith ties, to see the humanity across the lines which might divide us, and to fight for security and liberty for all those who pray. I look forward to our discussion today, and I hope it will encourage deepened solidarity for us to urgently work together to ensure every person can enjoy the right to believe, to worship, and to live in peace. Barbs, I know you're somewhere listening.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why does she keep, throwing it to the Barbs? She keeps saying Barbs, Barbs, Barbs. It seems like she's trying to plead with her Barbs not to kick her back in. Because let's be honest, I'm sure there's a few Barbs out there that are not happy that she's working in correlation, that she's praising the Donald Trump administration. She keeps kicking it back to the Barbs. Barbs, Barbs, Barbs. This should be about Nigeria and the Christians being persecuted, right? Why do you keep mentioning your Barbs? Talk to the Barbs in Nigeria. Talk to them that are believers. Stop talking to the Barbs. The Barbs back home. The Barbs here. Talk to the Barbs in Nigeria. Those are the ones suffering. Talk to them. And that's what I'm here to ask. Is there something at play? Is her intentions pure? Because I'm the only reason I'm laying this out in terms of her intention being pure, and I don't know, and I'm asking the question. I don't know Nicki Minaj to be a believer, respectfully. No disrespect to her. And I'm not saying she's not a believer. But, I'm just saying she's not a Christian artist. She's not a gospel artist. She's not a, I've never seen her do any type of, I'm just saying, she doesn't represent Christianity, right? This would be different. This would be a different case if this was Kurt Franklin, if this was Shirley Caesar, if this was Yolanda Adams, any of the white Christian acts, if this was, give me a Christian artist, it's plenty out there, any of the Christian rappers out there, D1 and other Christian artists, it would be different if this was a Christian artist out there, speaking on behalf of believers of the faith, Christianity. It would be different, because I would say, this is a believer. This person has a track record. He makes Christian music, or she makes Christian music. They have a track record, right? Here we have a woman who raps about her booty and slurping up penises, respectfully. No disrespect, Nicki. But you rap about big anacondas. You rap about people eating your butt. You rap about, you're not rapping about, you're not rapping about the faith here. So I don't understand, why are you here? They couldn't get Yolanda Adams. They couldn't get Shirley Caesar, Kurt Franklin. Why are you here? You. And maybe that needs to be broken down. Salute to FBA. I see FBA is in the building. Good to see FBA. You know, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. I know I haven't been posting. I know I haven't been dropping stuff. I'm gonna start getting back into a wave. A wave. Salute to Max B. You know, I see, Max B just got out. I'm trying to get back into a wave of putting things out. This is day one. I'm gonna try to do a 30-day streak, a 30-day streak of putting out content, live content every day for 30 days. I'm gonna try. So this is day one. But I'm here to ask the question: is Nicki Minaj's is her intentions pure? Because I'm just saying, I don't know her to be a believer. This is a woman who raps about people eating her butt, slurping up penises, like I said, doing sexual, nefarious, and devious things. Respectfully, that's her right to do. We live in America. She wants to have devious, nefarious sex. That's her prerogative, right? But I'm just here to ask the question: why her? Why her? Why her? Why not Kurt Franklin? Why not one of these white Christian artists? Plenty of Christian artists who make Christian rap, Christian R&B, Christian. Listen, there's plenty of Christian artists out there. Why Nicki Minaj? Who is, in my opinion, a secular artist? Is she not a secular artist? People that are of the faith, people that are, faith-based, who go to church, no matter what your denomination, is Nicki Minaj not a secular? She's a secular artist. Secular. Is she not a secular artist? Is she not a heathen? Is she not, respectfully, is she not lost in the world? As most believers would say she is. Is she not a tool and a puppet for the beast? What most people would say. Is she not? Why is she here? Why did the administration choose her? I'm just asking the question, right? Let's continue with her speech. Let's finish her speech, and let's get into Amanda Sill. Let's finish the Nicki Minaj speech.
I love you so very much. You have been the ultimate light in my life and career for so long. I appreciate you, and I want to make it very clear once again that this isn't about taking sides. This is about standing up in the...
And she's trying to stress that narrative. This is not about taking sides. Nicki Minaj, you are a proxy working for the Trump administration. You're there on behalf of the Trump administration. You would not be there if you were not working on behalf of the Trump administration. Currently, you are picking sides. You are there on behalf of Trump and his administration. So stop saying you're not here to pick sides. You are picking a side, woman. We're gonna get into Amanda Sill. Amanda Sill had a lot to say, but yeah, you're picking a side. Clearly, you talked about the great work that Trump is doing. You're picking a side, respectfully. Let's continue though.
It's about what I've always stood for my entire career, and I will continue to stand for that.
I don't know Nicki Minaj to stand for Christianity. I don't know her. What is she talking about? She said this is something that she stood for her entire career. Does anybody know, respectfully, Nicki Minaj to stand up for the freedom of to pray to your God? Does anybody know Nicki Minaj to be a saint? Should she be canonized by the Christian church right now? Should she be canonized? I want to know. Is Nicki Minaj the new Mother Teresa? I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know her to be that. I know you as the woman who raps about people eating your butt. You rapping about anacondas. You rapping about pills and potions. You with the multiple personalities. You doing all the bucking of the eyes. You done done. You done done. You done done. That's what I know you for. I don't know you for, standing up for the Christians in Nigeria, standing up for the believers of the Christian faith. I don't know. You're a secular artist, Nicki Minaj. So I don't know you for that. Respectfully. We need to get to the bottom of what Nicki Minaj is doing there. What is she doing? I don't believe that she's there for good intentions. Like I'm saying, if she had a track record of being a believer, if she was a Christian artist, if she devoted her art to the Christian faith, this would be a different discussion. If this was a Kurt Franklin or Yolanda Adams, I could understand. I could be like, you know what? This is a believer, and they're standing up for the other believers. I'm kind of perturbed to see why Kurt Franklin and the other Christian artists, why there? Why aren't they there speaking on behalf of this issue, right? But Nicki Minaj does not have that track record, respectfully. He does not have that track record. So I'm a little, I'm not perturbed, but I'm a little confused, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. Is she there, respectfully, on good intentions? And she could be. I'm not here to say that she's not. I'm not here to say that she's not. She could be there on behalf of good intentions. She could be there on behalf of good intentions, of her just wanting the people, the Christians of Nigeria, to be in better standing, to not be persecuted. Or is there another thing in play? Is there a bag at play? Is there a possible position, maybe an ambassador job for her, for the country that she represents? Nicki Minaj is a tether. She's not FBA. She is a tether. Nicki Minaj is a tether. She is a tether. She is of tether heritage. I believe her father is Indian, actually, and her mother is West Indian, if I'm not mistaken. FBA says she bucking her eyes in this picture. She's always bucking her eyes. She's always bucking those eyes, man. She's always bucking her eyes, man. When she get in front of white people, she don't know how to. She know how to keep her eyes, situated. When she get in front of white people and she talk with some class and she's well spoken, she know how to keep them eyes situated. But when she's talking to black women and women of the hood and women of the ghetto, she start bucking those eyes. Fire, 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 fire. Played that already. She start bucking those eyes, doing all the head movements and all that. But let's finish this speech from Nicki Minaj. We gotta get to the ending of the speech. Let's get to the ending of the speech.
The rest of my life, I will care if anyone, anywhere, is being persecuted for their beliefs. Thank you.
And that was Nicki Minaj's speech at the UN on behalf of the Christians being persecuted in Nigeria. And let's get to Amanda Seale. Amanda Seale, she clapped at Nicki Minaj. She clapped at her. We're gonna clap back. 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 She said, "Hold on, girl. Hold on, girl. Hold on, girl. You over here cooning and buffooning for the Trump administration to get some validation. Let me talk to you, mammy." Yeah, listen, man, Amanda Seale, wanted to talk to. This is tether on tether crime right here. Because respectfully, and listen, I got love for Amanda Seale, but this is tether on tether crime right now. You got two tethers scrambling like two eggs in Harlem right now. Well, let's see what Amanda Seale had to say to Nicki Minaj, up there, with the Trump administration on behalf of the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. Let's see what she had to say. She had to adjust them damn glasses, She's so perturbed. She had to adjust those damn glasses.
You don't find that suspicious?
Mm-hmm.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Nicki Minaj, you have perturbed Amanda Seale. She had to adjust those lens crafter glasses. She was greatly perturbed by what you did. Let's continue.
Nicki Minaj working with Trump admin on plight of Christians in Nigeria.
Let's get to it.
Either she's getting a check, or she was MAGA the whole time, or she's genuinely thinks that she's doing something good.
Let's stop right there. What do you think it is? I want to know. Because she put up a great point. Salute to Amanda Seale. Salute to Amanda Seale. What do you think it is? Is she in it for a bag? Because possibly there's a bag there. She was MAGA the whole time. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Nicki Minaj is MAGA. I don't lean that way. I lean more so in the bag, and I lean more so in the her not knowing better. I lean more so those two directions. I don't lean on her being MAGA. I think Nicki Minaj is a narcissist. I think Nicki Minaj is all about herself. I don't lean on her being MAGA. I don't think she's, got Trump, she's a Trumper like that. I don't believe that she's a Trumper like that. I don't believe that. So I believe it's either she don't know no better, respectfully, and necessarily, I don't necessarily agree with the whole leftist ideal of her not knowing better. Like, I think that's a little BS as well. Like, if Nicki Minaj wants to work with the Trump administration and she truly believes, and what she's doing is going to help, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But there is a possible bag at play. Now, let me look up one thing. Let me look it up on my phone. Where is Nicki Minaj from? What's her ancestry? Is she? I don't think she's Barbados. Is she from Trinidad? She got Trinidad ancestry, right? Hold on. Nicki Minaj. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm looking it up on my phone. Her ancestry. I believe she's from Trinidad, right? Trinidadian. She's Trinidadian. Okay. Now, possibly, I've heard this theory. Possibly, Nicki Minaj may be looking for an ambassador job for Trinidad. Is that possible? possibly Nicki Minaj is trying to get an ambassador role with the Trump administration when it comes to Trinidad. Is that possible? There is a bag at play. Maybe, respectfully, I'm throwing this out there. I don't know. I have no knowledge. This is just me thinking, possibly. Is Nicki Minaj trying to get an ambassador role for Trinidad? Possibly trying to pivot as an ambassador role for Trinidad? Let me know, respectfully. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into Amanda Seales. And respect to Amanda Seales.
Which, by the way, is why y'all need to have people around you that know more than you. And by y'all, I don't just mean celebrities. Everybody. Everybody should have people around them that they can consult with, that think differently than you, that hold you in a place of values. Just so you understand what's happening here with the plight of Christians in Nigeria, there is a plight of Christians in Nigeria. However, the U.S., what does that have to do with the United States? The United States
let's get to the
is
second.
using this as a ploy, as a proxy, to find their way into Nigeria so that they can then find their way into the Sahel states of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, who, as you know, are coming together to begin a process of Pan-Africanism on the continent. They are taking back their resources from France. They are saying we are going to build our own infrastructures. This undermines the global empire's goal.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't necessarily agree with that. If that's Amanda Seales' opinion, listen, that's her opinion. But let's be real. Africans have been selling out Africans for centuries. I'm just keeping it real. This is my FBA opinion. This is my FBA opinion. You know what happened. You know the FBA story. We got sold out. So you're not going to convince me that some Africans are coming together to take back the infrastructure and to take back the resources. I don't believe it. Africans have been selling out other Africans for centuries. That's a fact. I'm just keeping it real. Africans have been selling out other Africans for centuries. So if you're telling me that, the Trump administration, they're just trying to get up in Africa and take the resources, they're trying to break up the unity that the Africans have, and they're trying to take back the resources from the colonial powers and the colonization and the taking it back from the China. I don't see it. I just don't see it, respectfully. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I think that's cap. Salute to FBA. I got my main nigga on the trigger right here. FBA. He said, "You heard." Yeah, listen, Africans been selling out Africans for centuries. So you're not gonna tell me, the African nations, they're coming together and they're kicking out the colonizers and they're taking back the resources. I don't believe it. You've been selling out to the Chinese. You've been selling out. You've been giving up the damn resources. You've been giving them up. You've been giving up the resources like a mook in prison. You've been giving them up. Giving up those resources like a mook in prison. let's get back into it. Let's get back into Amanda Seale though, because Amanda Seale. Respect to Amanda Seale. I got respect for Amanda. She's a smart woman. She's a smart woman, an educated woman. I got nothing but respect for Amanda Seale. This is her opinion, and I'm willing to listen to it. Salute to Amanda Seale. Let's get back to it.
And so they have to try and shut it down. Now, we saw earlier this year with AFRICOM and that coon, that general who tried to say, they got some problems going down in Burkina Faso. They're continuing to try to make this happen the same way that they're making fetch happen in Venezuela right now. When do we stop allowing ourselves to be used? Is using this.
And Tamika Mowry. Salute to Tamika Mowry. I'm not a fan of Tamika Mowry, but she's a smart woman. I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect the sisters. They got, there's some smart women, there's some smart black women out there. She says, for the record, Nicki Minaj may not realize it yet. And in respect to Amanda Seale and Tamika Mowry, they're shooting Nicki Minaj some bail. They're saying, you know what? She may not realize. She may not know better. Maybe she's doing this, and not having the full scale or the full knowledge of what's going on. So, with respect to Tamika Mowry and Amanda, they're shooting Nicki Minaj some bail. So she says, for the record, Nicki Minaj may not realize it, but aligning with Donald Trump and his evil plans has consequences as he turns his attention to Nigeria. There will be exploitation, resource theft, and innocent Nigerians will likely be harmed. I think that's what she meant to say. Will likely be harmed. And what else she said? Hold on, because we already saw her speech. Excuse me. Trump has a pattern. He uses black culture for cover while he pushes policies that hurt black people here and abroad. Unfortunately, that sister will be tied to the harm, and history will remember who stood beside him. And that's from Tamika Mowry. That's what Tamika Mowry had to say. Let me go to give me 1 second. Let me go to Amanda Seale's, because I think the video was longer with Amanda Seale. I kind of want to hear what she had to say. And I got respect for Amanda Seale. I got a number of respect for. I got respect for Amanda Seale. She's a smart woman. Amanda Seale is a smart woman. Definitely, I think she's a very smart woman. Let me see. Okay, here we go. I just literally clicked it. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm just trying to get it queued up. All right. Get y'all on here. Put my sister up here, Amanda Seale. Let's see what she's talking about. And she is a tether. Respectful. She is a tether. But I got respect for Amanda Seale. Let's see what she had to say again.
Nicki Minaj working with Trump admin on plight of Christians in Nigeria.
Either she's getting a check.
Oh, the big homie Sinclair's in the building. Salute to Sinclair. The big homie. The big homie Sinclair's in it. What's up, Sinclair? Good to see you.
Or she was MAGA the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Or...
And I think that's possible. It's possible. A lot of celebrities, they hide their political affiliations. They're not going to sit up there and tell you that they're a Trump supporter. It's possible that Nicki Minaj could be a Trump supporter. I don't think it's beyond reason. I don't think that that's what it is, though. I will stand on that. I think it's more so her trying to get a bag, her possibly trying to get an ambassador role for Trinidad, or possibly she may not know better. Maybe she is a believer and she just wants to do something good for people that are of the faith. Yeah, but I would think it's more so that, but it's possible she could be a Trump supporter. You know, possible. It's not without reason. I don't. It's not. I don't think it's totally impossible that that could be what it is. But let's continue.
She's genuinely thinks that she's doing something good, which, by the way, is why y'all need to have people around you that know more than you. And by y'all, I don't just mean celebrities. Everybody. Everybody should have people around them that they can consult with, that think differently than you, that hold you in a place of values. Just so you understand what's happening here with the plight of Christians in Nigeria, there is a plight of Christians in Nigeria. However, the U.S., what does that have to do with the United States? The United States is using this as a ploy, as a proxy, to find their way into Nigeria so that they can then find their way into the Sahel states of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, who, as you know, are coming together to begin a process of Pan-Africanism on the continent. They are taking back their resources from France.
That is cap. Like I said, Africans have been selling out other Africans for centuries. How do you think foundational Black Americans got to America? It was Africans selling out other Africans. How do you think the Chinese is out in Africa building the damn roads? Africans selling out other Africans. We gotta stop. Listen, if there's a movement today, or a movement that the African leaders are pushing in terms of taking back the resources, that's fine and dandy, and I respect it. But we gotta stop acting like the Africa ain't been selling out other Africans. We gotta stop. We gotta call a spade a spade. We just gotta call it what it is. We just gotta be honest about what really happened, what really occurred. Sinclair says, "What's this lady's beef?" Well, Amanda Sill. Let me put Sinclair's comment on the screen. Amanda Sill has an issue with Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, she spoke on behalf of the United Nations and spoke on behalf of the Trump administration in terms of Nigerians in Nigeria being persecuted for their beliefs in Christianity. There are Christians being persecuted in Christianity. There are people losing their lives in terms of being believers. There are churches being burnt down. There are Christians being losing their lives. So she spoke in behalf of that. She spoke on behalf of, bringing it to the attention of the United Nations. Something needs to happen in terms of helping the Christian believers of Nigeria. They're being persecuted. And I made the point, I had to make the point before we get into Amanda Seale and what she's had to say. And I did think she had some great points. I don't know Nicki Minaj to be a believer. I have to lean on that. It would be different if Kurt Franklin was there. If Kurt Franklin was there and he was talking about the believers and yada, 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 I would say, you know what? This is a Christian artist. This is a believer. He's there really on behalf of the Christian faith. If this was a Christian rapper, a Christian singer, I would say, you know what? This person is there on behalf of Christianity and there on behalf of their belief. Nicki Minaj is a secular artist. What the hell is my anaconda don't want none if you ain't got buns, huh? What is she doing there? Miss Truffle Butter rapping about people eating her butt, pills and potions, popping a pill. All the bucking of the eyes. You're done. We played that. What is she doing there? I'm a little confused on why she's doing there. That's why I kind of lean on what Amanda Seale is saying. Is there a bag at play? Is Nicki Minaj possibly trying to get a bag? Is there, and don't get it confused. There's a bag at play. Let me get back into what Amanda Seale had to say. Because she did say there's a bag at play. She said, is there possibly a bag at play? Is that why she's there? Because she said it in the beginning.
Nicki Minaj working with Trump admin on plight of Christians in Nigeria.
Either she's getting a check.
Even she said it. Either she's getting a check, she was MAGA all the time, or she doesn't know better. I would lean, respectfully, more so in the bag. Nicki Minaj is a narcissist. Nicki Minaj is a capitalist. Don't get it confused. There's a bag at play here. There's a bag at play here. There's a bag at play. All the rich think about is getting richer. There's a bag at play. The bag at play. And, Amanda Seale was just pretty much calling it out. Let me see if, let me take a trip to Twitter real quick. Just to see if there's anybody on Twitter talking about Nicki Minaj. Supporting Trump. Nicki Minaj. I just want to see if there's anybody on here. They got her speech here. It says Nicki Minaj makes history as the first female rapper to speak proper English at the political convention. Others have spoken broken English and twerked instead of using their voices. And then, of course, you got they clapping hard, man. Meg Thee Stallion there. Let me hear what this man has to say in terms of this situation.
People, you got up there on stage and started spitting out the same.
Let me hold on. Give me 1 second, What is happening? Why is my screen frozen? Oh man, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, my screen is frozen. Hold on, y'all. My screen is frozen. Give me 1 second.
You are a traitor to. Hey, Nicki Minaj, you suck. You are a traitor to Africa and your people. You got up there on stage and started spitting out the same old imperial rubbish. And you think we're gonna believe this shit? Do you really think Africans are stupid enough to think that Donald Trump wants to go there to save Christians after he literally sent bombs to Gaza to blow up churches? You think Africans are stupid? You want to preserve your career, what little is left of it? For what? For what? To teach young girls how to twerk? You're a loser.
Damn.
Africa is waking up and the world is waking up. They tried to take down Captain Africa, Ibrahim Traoré, in Burkina Faso, and we smashed that back. That Uncle Ruckus general ran back home. And we're going to do the same thing in Nigeria. So, Nicki, if you're a moron and you don't really actually realize what's happening, which I don't believe, I don't think you're that stupid, let me tell you, Uncle Sam England, Israel, all the usual suspects are getting together to try to take Africa under control. AFRICOM is the name of the American base in Africa. And AFRICOM says, man, we're losing control. The Sahel, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are broken free. Nothing we can do. The French can't stop them. Well, don't worry. We're going to go in and we're going to take Nigeria. We're going to start a civil war between the Muslims and Christians. And, well, those Nigerians are doomed, so they're just going to follow along. And then we'll take over the whole country, stop them from refining their own oil, stop that economy from booming, because goddamn, that country's rich. And we're going to use that as a base to stop the Sahel revolution, and we're going to pull Africa away from Russia and China. And our Negroes here at home will help us do it. Hey, Nicki Minaj, get your big booty over here, girl. We got to get you to work. And you fell for it. You're a joke.
Get
We're
your
going to
big
cancel
booty
you,
over here, really?
Nicki. And every other celebrity out there that is weak and stupid enough to fall for this and betray your own people. To hell with you. Africa is rising.
You know, I take issue with your own people. Does Nicki Minaj identify as an African woman? Does she even identify as a black woman? Respectfully, I think she identifies as a Trinidadian. She doesn't identify as a black American. Doesn't identify as a black woman. Doesn't identify none of that. She identifies as a Trinidadian. So I don't think she identifies as none of that. A lot of people identify with their tribes. You know, you got a lot of Jamaican women. They don't identify as a black woman. I'm not a black woman. I'm a Jamaican woman. Same thing with the Hispanic people. I'm not a black woman. I'm a Dominican woman. I'm a Puerto Rican woman. I'm not me no black. Me no African. So all that African, a lot of people they don't identify as that, you know. So all that, you know, you're a traitor. You know. I understand. You know, melanated people come from Africa. So they say, you know, even though I think that a lot of melanated people come from a lot of different places, we come from, you know, I'm not saying that Africa is not the cradle of civilization. It absolutely is the cradle of civilization. But, you know, I'm just saying, you know, a lot of people stick to their tribes. We seen her speech. Yeah, but let me know. Do y'all think, you know, Nicki Minaj is possibly cooning and buffooning? You know, is she, you know, is she cooning and buffooning? You know, should she be canceled by her fan base? Nicki Minaj? Sinclair says that guy interestingly has comments in the safety of his home where a machete carrying extremist. Yeah, that guy, he's spitting all this hot fire. He's one of them guys that just to me he seemed like one of those guys that says all of this revolutionary stuff and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and he just in his basement of his house saying he's all like he ain't about no action. He sound like one of those guys to me. FBA says Minaj. Sinclair says, I want all Christians to be safe. And if it's Nicki to bring people to fold, I'm okay with it. No one remembers Coney. Let me say this in terms of Africans or Nigerians rather being persecuted in Nigeria. Christians, right? Let's not forget Christians are being persecuted in China. Christians are being persecuted in Muslim countries. Why isn't America going there? That's the thing that we have to talk about. Because listen, if we want to, you know, highlight Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, that's fine. If America takes interest in that, you know, I don't think that that's right. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If we're looking at Africa as the cradle of civilization, everything started in Africa, right? So the persecution of Christians started in Africa. This is what's been happening in Africa for over thousands of years, respectfully. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that it's been happening for a long time there. But that one point, but the other point is that, let's be real, the persecution of Christians is happening in China. It's happening in Muslim countries. It's not just happening in Nigeria. It's not just happening in Nigeria. I've seen plenty of news articles where it talked about in China, Christians are being persecuted. Muslim countries, you're not allowed to have a Christian church in a Muslim country. There's plenty of places where Christians are being persecuted. It's not just Nigeria. So there is an interest in Nigeria that America is trying to possibly get involved in. There is a lot of resources in Africa. I lean more to what Amanda Sill was saying. I do think that there is a ploy to get into Africa and possibly get a hold of those resources. Africa has a lot of resources. So I do think there possibly is a ploy there. Sinclair says, "Sir, Africans don't want to be killed by Boko Haram, the Muslim terrorist group." Listen, like I said, the persecution of Christians in a lot of these countries, it's been happening. For centuries. If we believe respectfully, and I'm just keeping it real, and I'm looking at it as, and I am a believer, right? I am a believer. I'm looking at it from a history perspective. If we look at Africa as the cradle of civilization, the persecution of Christians have been happening for centuries in Africa. Let's just keep it real. If the and I'm not saying it's right. I think that what's happening, if you believe, what you believe in is what you believe in, and you don't deserve to lose your life or be persecuted for what you believe in. If that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in, right? But this has been happening for a long time in that country. This is the culture of that country, right? And I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it has been happening in that country for a very long time. Putting that out there. Sinclair says Michelle Obama was against Boko Haram. Michelle Obama is a clown. Michelle Obama said America is not ready for a woman president when Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in 2016. Did she not? Did Hillary Clinton, and listen, I'm no Hillary Clinton supporter, but Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. In 2016, she won the popular vote. So we can't say that America was not ready for a woman president when the majority of Americans voted for a woman president. We can't say that. What does Michelle Obama really know? Like she's a clown. The whole Obama family are nothing but clowns. In my opinion. Look at Chicago. If you want to know how much the Obamas are clowns, all you got to do is look at the state of Chicago. Look at the state of Chicago. I know you guys heard that story about the mother and her kids getting beat up by a bunch of teenage kids in school. Look at the state of Chicago. You would think Obama and his family would be going there to fix up that state, fix up what's going on there. They have no reason to go there. They don't want to go there and fix things. You would think that would be the first place they go to fix things. Let's go to Chicago. Let's fix up Chicago. And then, eventually let's try to get Michelle Obama in the White House. You would think that would be what they would be doing. But no, you got, Barack Obama selling books, going on book tours, not doing anything, just talking, going golfing. Just my opinion. It's my opinion. Um, Sinclair says, I was referring to the campaign against the Christian children kidnapped. Listen, what's happening in Nigeria is messed up. It's sad. The things that are happening there, it's messed up. I don't think that Christians should be persecuted in Nigeria. I don't think that Nicki Minaj should be the spokeswoman for that cause. I do think that that was a poor choice. I think they could have found somebody better than Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is a secular artist, but Sinclair says I was referring to the campaign against the Christian children kidnapped. Yeah, listen, I feel you. Let me see something because my on this side my thing is kind of messed up. Oh man. Listen. And so listen, I'm gonna end it here. That's all I had to say in terms of this topic. Um, in terms of Nicki Minaj at the UN speaking on behalf of that. Is there a bag at play? I just want to let me know if you feel like there's a bag at play. Is she really trying to invoke change or really trying to help the Christians in Nigeria? And I'm not saying that she's not. I'm not throwing that on her. I'm not saying that, I don't know. I'm asking the question. But let me know how you guys feel about this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Salute to Sinclair. Salute to FBA. Salute to the mods. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this video. I am out. I'm gonna call it a night, y'all. It's kind of late. And remember, this is day one. I'm going to try to do a 30-day streak. I'm gonna do a 30-day streak of going live. This is day one. Tomorrow, I plan on going live. We're gonna try to get back into the rhythm of going live, right? Because I realized that I haven't been doing a lot of lives. I realized that I've been sagging off. I've been kind of lazy with it. Haven't been dropping content, as frequently. Kind of gotten out of the rhythm. We're going to try to get back to the rhythm of things, right? So we're going to try to do more lives frequently. This is day one. So tomorrow will be day two. We're going to get back into the rhythm of things. So tune in tomorrow. We're going to do a live tomorrow. I may do an early morning live. We'll see. We may do early morning live. So tune in. I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm going to make sure I post in the thing. And you guys have a good night, man. You guys have a good night. You guys have a productive week. And I'll see you guys soon, man. You guys have a productive week. Have a good night, man. We out. Toodles.